Penn State women's hockey the best team on campus? We're here to answer that question tonight. Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Hunter Pitcoff here, Brooke Steach and Zach Gershman. A series sweep over Robert Morris gives the 8th-ranked Nittany Lions a 5-point cushion as a top-ranked team in the CHA standings. So let's cut right to the chase. How is Penn State able to pull off the series win?
Penn State did a great job by coming back when they were down 1-0. Two freshmen, Olivia Walline and Kiara Zanin, really came through and they did a great job together. So they really kept the momentum going by being down 1-0 in Sunday's game as well. And speaking of these freshmen, Olivia Walline, she leads the CHA in goals right now, which is the most by Penn State. And we can't forget freshman goalkeeper Josie Botten. She had 27 saves on Saturday and 36 saves on Sunday, while being voted CHA's goaltender of the week. So I think the team played great, and we can't forget their defense too. After having a penalty, they were playing 5-on-3 hockey for a while. So to keep that goal at the end and to be strong, that was great.
Yeah, Josie Botten has been a brick wall in the net. It's been incredible to see the freshman. People might not realize when she's on the ice that she's actually a freshman, but she's becoming, might be even freshman of the year, because the way she's been performing has been incredible so far. With the series sweep against Robert Morris, I honestly credit it towards their defense. When they've been down before, they haven't let themselves stay down. They've always gone back up. They've always continued the fight. And that happened in this game, especially after Rachel Weiss had her 5-minute major penalty, was ultimately ejected from the game. And then from there on, they had the 5-on-3 penalty in the third period with like 6 minutes to go. They did not back down. And that has to be the #1 key to the series sweep.
I couldn't agree with you guys anymore, because I really think that penalty kill, I think it set a tone for not only that game, but for the rest of the season. Even head coach Jeff Kampersal credited the amount of heart and grit that his team showed during that stretch. But I want to look at the season as a whole here. How has Penn State been able to kind of maintain this success?
Well, it's the freshmen stepping up and actually being leaders. I mean, there's not many seniors. Wednesday's going to be senior day, and it's going to be a really short ceremony because there aren't many seniors on the team. But the freshmen and the sophomores, they make up this lineup. So that has to be the #1 thing. These freshmen are playing like they're juniors and seniors. So that they have to continue that, and that I would attribute to the overall success of the team.
Definitely, like you said, and the freshmen, I mean, we can't forget them. Josie Botten, she's only let in 23 goals this season, which is incredible. And overall, the team has great chemistry, like I don't think they've ever seen before, which is great. And they have an 8-game unbeaten streak, so that's great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously talent, is going to take you a long way, but I think the difference between a middle-of-the-road team and a great team is just the culture and team chemistry. And to build off that point, Penn State was 9-21-5 before Jeff Kampersal came from Princeton to Hockey Valley. But ever since then, he's really been able to build this team back up, especially this year. It's also worth knowing, too, that there were some player mistreatment allegations going on, too. He did not enter a good situation, but it seems like things are finally able to click. How has he been able to kind of make this team a powerhouse, if you will?
Well, he's doing a great job switching the lineups. He now has 47 wins as head coach, which is the most a women's hockey coach has ever had. And he's doing great recruiting of freshmen. Most of them have come from the U.S. national team, which is unheard of in the past recruiting class. And the future looks very bright for them in the roster, considering they have so many returners.
Yeah, Jeff Kampersal is the 7th winningest coach in NCAA history for women's hockey. He did not have to leave Princeton, but he came into a situation that, as Hunter said, was not in the best spot. And he came in and he turned it around. This year's class, this freshman sophomore class that he's brought in, they are his kids. They are the kids that he's recruited. He had full control into bringing over into his program. And we see they're 2 wins away from tying their winningest season so far under his tenure. And it's going to happen probably really soon. So, I mean, he's the 7th winningest coach in NCAA history. He's becoming a stud across college hockey. So his attitude and his motto in the locker room and the way he fights for his players, that has to be why this is starting to become a powerhouse.
All very valid points. Totally see where you're coming from. But you know what, Brooke, Zach, I'm going to take it up a notch a little bit here. Put you on the spot. Is this a future dynasty we're seeing here with this Penn State women's hockey team?
Personally, I think so. Since the team has not gotten this much attention before, it's definitely going to help them so much. And the returning freshmen will have this season under their belt, and hopefully next season they get an even more normal season, so say, and they could potentially have this NCAA title under their belt and win the CHA. So I think it definitely is proving a future dynasty.
100%. There's a dynasty on the rise right here in Happy Valley. One of the reasons why Penn State has been doing really well, as you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of people that were on the national team. But he's also bringing people from this powerhouse state, being Minnesota. A lot of Penn State's freshmen and sophomore come from the state of Minnesota. And Minnesota so far, with the Minnesota Golden Gophers and Minnesota Duluth, they're the two winningest teams in terms of championships across the NCAA and for women's hockey. He's taking players from Minnesota and bringing them here. So there is a dynasty on the rise, and I would have to say these freshmen really do complement Natalie Heising. She's a senior. She's going to be leaving. She's going to be going on to the next stage, whether that's going to be playing professional hockey or wherever that might be for her. But she's leaving a legacy for these Penn State Nittany Lions women's hockey team members, and they're coming from the state of Minnesota, and I'm really excited to see that growth continue.
Well, there isn't a whole lot of one-and-dones in the college hockey scene, so this really young team that's already good is going to continue to grow together as the seasons do progress. But in the immediate future, Penn State's next series will be against RIT on Tuesday and Wednesday. Puck drops at 5 p.m. at Pagula Ice Arena. And that's all the time we have here on Penn State Sports Night. For Brooke Steach and Zach Gershman, I'm Hunter Pitcoff. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.
Thank you for watching this edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also, follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.